Yes, people, so we're going to be doing a super quick, easy boxing session that you can copy. Going to be warming up with some skipping, going to be doing some shadow boxing, and then we're going to be doing about 5 rounds on the bag. Then to finish, we're just going to be doing some slow cardio just to burn a bit of extra fat. So we're going to warm up with 2 rounds of skipping, nothing crazy, just get nice and loose, get the heart rate going, and then we'll move on to some shadow boxing. Now we're just going to do 2 rounds of shadow boxing, nice and loose. What I want you to focus on as well is not just the footwork. As you're moving around, just being nice and loose, almost on your tiptoes. And the only time you want to come off your tiptoes is when you're ready to plant and when you're ready to fire the shot. See, it's nice and loose on your feet, nice and loose, ready to move back and forth. Then it's plant, fire, or fire, right into a plant. Lots of pivots as well. As you're bouncing around, just take 1 step. So lots of pivots when you're here. Just plant your foot. And all you do is move your back foot to the outside, like this. So when you're moving around, nice and relaxed, plant, pivot. And then as you're shadow boxing and moving around, you have the opportunity then just to pivot whilst you're moving around, whilst you're shadow boxing. So here, shadow boxing, pivot. It's that simple. Also throw a lot of feints into your shadow boxing as well. Easiest way to feint. Don't need to over exaggerate it. So when you're here, don't need to be throwing the feint out here. Simple as just raise your hand up, just subtly. So you're here, guards up, and you can feint a lot more then without wasting energy. So you're here, this arm is almost constantly moving, and it's just giving the illusion I'm going to feint. Then when I'm ready, feint that in then and throw the shot. So again, as you can see, nice and relaxed here. I'm here, hand is up, shot. Then it's here. The opponent just doesn't know when you're actually going to throw that shot, and you're not consistently feinting like this. I mean, that can work, but it can get very, very tiring, and it's easier for your opponent to then predict the shot, and you can get countered from the feint when you're not even throwing a shot, okay? Now we're going to start with the fun stuff. Just a nice, easy round for round number 1. We're almost just warming up, working on the movement, getting ready for the next rounds, which are a bit more intense. So here, it doesn't have to be anything crazy. Guards up, you know, you're ready to counter punches, you're ready to slip punches, ready to block punches. Just keeping it nice and loose, nothing crazy. Then we'll add some pivots in there, so we throw a jab, jab, and just pivot rounds. It's simple. Get used to moving around the bag. You know, don't want to just be that person that's just static in front of the bag with no movement, just throwing shots. This is a good opportunity in this round, just to be throwing shots and just moving around, being nice and loose, working on that footwork that we worked on earlier. We want to be mixing up shots to the head and the body as well, getting in range and out of range. Now before we go into round 2, we'll have about 30-second break. If you need 1 minute, that's absolutely fine. But what we want to make sure that we're doing is bringing our heart rate down, breathing in through our nose and out through our mouth. Just being really, really relaxed and getting ready for the next round. So for this round now, we're going to be working on power shots. That can be single shots, combinations, but we're just going to be working on our power. So let's whack them in. So in between as well, I mean, of course, you know, the main aim of this round is to launch in power shots. But in between, you know, those power shots, you can still tap the bag, you can still keep loose. Then when it's time, you fire them in. Nice and relaxed, just really whipping in those shots. Making sure that with the hooks, you're really whipping them in. And that's the same for the body as well. Bend your knees, dip down, whip. It's almost like your body moves first, and then the arm comes round second. It's almost like a whip. You're whipping in the shot. So let's put in some work. So working the body, let's smash in the body. Round 3 now, we should be tired from that round. That was a high work rate round. Now what we're going to be doing is pretty much just working on jabs and 1-2s. Now that we're a bit tired and they're a bit more fatigued, it's a bit harder now to fire in those jabs and those 1-2s. But what we want to condition ourselves to be is that when we're sparring or when we're boxing, that even when we're tired, we still have the basic fundamentals that we can use. So I mean, just straight shots, that's all we need. Imagine this, the bag, is an opponent. You know, so be aware of shots coming back, and let's actually find the target. Let's not just throw for the sake of it. And again, we can use what we learned earlier with this hand, just floating around. It's almost like you're not really using much energy to do this, but it keeps your opponent wary rather than just being stationary. And whenever your opponent then sees you twitch, they know a shot's coming in. It's, you know, just nice and relaxed. Keep your opponent guessing. Then when you hear, throw that in then. Then to finish off the round as well, it's going to fire in 1-2s consistently. So it's going to be 1-2, slight gap, 1-2, slight gap, 1-2, slight gap. Round 4 now, pretty much going to be doing sparring simulation. I love doing this, I think it's so effective. Of course, this is your opponent. You know, you need to envisage this being your opponent. And again, not just throw shots for the sake of it, but imagine that he's going to fire shots back. It's actually really, really effective. So pick your shots, throw what you want. I recommend single shots, 1-2s, you know, just a few 3-4 punch combos added in there. But realistically, you're not going to be throwing 3-4 punch combinations for the whole round in sparring. So let's make it as realistic as we can. So just keeping it realistic. You're sparring, your opponent's there. Don't forget to slip punches. Don't forget to parry. Don't forget to pivot to move around. Don't forget to have your guard up. When you're out of range, yes, you can have your hands a bit looser. When you're in range, your hands are up, you're ready to block the shots. Also get your opponent into different positions as well. Let's just say now it's the last 20 seconds of the round. You know, I've cut off the ring, so I've got my opponent against the ropes. Nowhere for him to go. Let's work. He's on the ropes. Now just lean on him, don't let him go anywhere. Now last round, we're just going to work, burn ourselves out. You know, we're going to be throwing rapid straight punches. We're going to be throwing punches to the body rapidly. You know, I'll show you now. So throughout the round, you know, you'll just be sparring as normal or hitting the bag as normal. Then it's, you know, we'll do 20 seconds of straight punches. And we just revert back. Let's really gas ourselves out. This round now you should be tired. But again, we've been working on still keeping the fundamentals strong when we're tired. Then, again, we just throw in the odd 20 seconds of body punches. Just throwing hooks to the body rapidly. Then we go back to normal. By the end of that, you should be shattered. We've only trained for about 25, 30 minutes, but we're keeping it consistent. I always say it's better to get 2 or 3 sessions like this in a week rather than doing an hour-and-a-half session once every 2-3 weeks. You'll consistently get better and you get better a lot quicker training like this, especially if you're not training at a boxing club or an MMA club. Just keep working on the hands, keep working on the shadow boxing, the skipping, the movement. Keep working on it all. Every session, you'll get a tiny bit better. Then all we're going to be doing is finishing off with an uphill walk. If you want to make things a bit tougher and get some high intensity cardio in, you can do circuits, you can do a run, but I'm just going to do 20 minutes of an uphill walk just to burn some extra fat.